Good morning and welcome back to the British Accent Podcast. I'm Nick.
And I'm Emily. Today we're talking about something that might completely change how you feel about English practice, starting your day with it.
That's right. We're calling this one English in the morning, because there's something really special about those early hours, isn't there?
Absolutely. Mornings can be quiet, peaceful, and full of potential. They're a chance to set the tone for your entire day. And even just a few minutes with English in the morning can give you momentum.
Some people think they need to wait until they are fully awake or have an hour free to practice. But what if you just used the first 5 or 10 minutes after you wake up?
Yes. While brushing your teeth, while making coffee, or while sitting in bed for a moment, those are perfect little windows to bring English into your life gently, without pressure.
Because morning English doesn't have to be serious or formal. It can be soft, simple, even sleepy.
Exactly. You could start by listening to an English phrase or affirmation. Or repeating one sentence to yourself out loud. Something like, "Today I will try." Or, "I am learning, slowly but surely."
Even something as easy as checking the weather in English, "It's cloudy today," or "It's going to be warm." These little habits help you connect with the language as part of real life.
And because your brain is still waking up, it's often more open, less full of stress or self-judgment. That's a beautiful time to let language flow in.
There's something honest about how we think in the morning, isn't there? Before we're distracted by the day. That's when English can really become part of your inner voice.
Exactly. And once you start using even a little English in the morning, it stays with you. Like a quiet companion that walks beside you through the day.
I think a lot of people underestimate the power of small routines. They think, if I don't study for an hour, it doesn't count. But honestly, one quiet minute in the morning is more valuable than an hour of forced focus later.
Yes, because in the morning, your mind hasn't filled up with distractions yet. It's a fresh space. And if English is one of the first things that enters that space, it makes a real impression.
One of my favorite ideas is using a morning mantra. Just a simple sentence in English that you repeat to yourself while you stretch or breathe or wash your face. It doesn't have to be deep. Even, "I will be kind to myself today," is enough.
I love that. And I think it's important for listeners to know, you don't need to open a textbook to practice. You can practice with your thoughts, your breath, your voice, even before breakfast.
And if you're someone who likes to journal, writing 2 or 3 sentences in English each morning is such a beautiful ritual. You could answer a question like, "What do I need today?" or "What am I grateful for?"
Or even describe something very small and physical. The sky is grey. I feel tired. I will have tea. That's English too. That's beautiful too.
Exactly. The point is not to be perfect, it's to be present with the language. And what better time to practice presence than in the morning?
Yes, especially because mornings can be such a sensitive time. They carry emotions. They set the tone. If you bring English into that moment with kindness, it becomes something soft and safe, not a task to complete, but a friend to greet.
And once you create that bond with English in the morning, it feels less like homework and more like connection. It becomes part of how you care for yourself.
That's the magic of it. You're not just learning a language, you're building a gentle rhythm. You're saying, "This is part of who I am," even before the world wakes up.
Sometimes people ask, "But what if I'm not a morning person?" And honestly, that's okay. You don't have to wake up extra early. You don't have to do anything dramatic. Just work with the mornings you already have.
Exactly. Maybe you only have 3 minutes before you run out the door. That's still enough. You could listen to a short podcast, whisper a phrase to yourself while putting on your shoes, or just notice something around you and name it in English.
Like, "The floor is cold," or "My bag is heavy today." These tiny observations help build fluency because they are real. They connect the language to your senses.
And over time, those little moments add up. They create a habit, not one based on pressure, but one based on presence. And that's what makes learning sustainable.
I really believe that the best kind of English practice is the kind that feels natural. And morning routines, no matter how simple, can do exactly that.
For example, one thing I've started doing is reading just one English quote or sentence on my phone while I drink water in the morning. It's not a big deal. But it makes English the first voice I hear outside my own.
That's beautiful. And for someone else, it might be playing an English song while they shower or making a little voice memo in English about what they dreamt about the night before.
Or even labeling things around the kitchen. Like, you open the cupboard and see a sticky note that says mug, or spoon, or tea. Without even trying, you're seeing English first thing in your day.
And that's the idea, make English part of your environment, not just your study schedule. Let it live with you. Let it wake up with you.
Because when English becomes part of your mornings, it gently becomes part of your identity. Not something you do, but something you carry with you.
And here's another idea that might help, keeping a small, morning English notebook. You don't have to write much, just one new word each day, or one thing you noticed in English, like a phrase from the radio or a sentence you heard in a show.
Yes. And even if you don't write anything, just opening that notebook in the morning, even to reread an old word or sentence, can remind your brain, hey, English is part of today.
It's almost like lighting a little candle in your mind. A way of saying, today I will learn something, and I'll do it gently.
And you know what's really powerful? When you begin to connect English with positive feelings instead of stress. If you let English live in your mornings, the quiet, honest part of the day, it starts to feel like something safe.
Not something you're judged on. Not something you have to prove with. Just a part of your life that grows slowly, quietly, and truthfully.
And it's okay if your practice looks different from someone else's. You don't have to copy the routines of a fluent speaker. You can build your own rhythm, your own way of beginning the day with English.
Absolutely. One person might write, another might listen, someone else might speak. Some may do a bit of all three. But the point is, it's yours. It fits into your life. It belongs to you.
That's the most important part. Morning practice isn't about doing more, it's about doing what feels real, what brings you peace, even if it's just 30 seconds long.
Because in the end, language isn't just about performance. It's about connection, to yourself, to others, and to the world. And starting your day with that connection? That's powerful.
And there's something really special about the kind of English you use in the morning. It's often more honest. You're not performing for anyone. You're just being yourself, before the world gets loud.
Exactly. You're not worrying about grammar tests or perfect pronunciation. You're just waking up and letting the language stretch with you. Like a soft warm-up instead of a workout.
And that's what builds long-term progress. Because when you enjoy the language, when it feels natural, you're more likely to come back to it again and again.
Right. You're not forcing yourself to study harder. You're inviting English into your life, one breath at a time.
Even saying a few affirmations in English while brushing your teeth can set the tone for your whole day. Something simple like, I'm learning. I'm growing. My English is improving.
Yes. And it's amazing how saying something out loud, even quietly, can make it feel more real. It gives your progress a voice.
And if you live with other people, especially those who don't speak English, you can still do this privately. Whisper it. Think it. Write it. Your learning belongs to you, not to anyone else's expectations.
That's such a comforting reminder. You don't need permission. You don't need perfection. You just need consistency and kindness, to yourself and to your journey.
And honestly, Your morning mindset can shape your confidence for the rest of the day. Starting with English, even a little, can make you feel more ready for the world.
Because it's not just about learning words. It's about learning to believe in yourself as a person who learns.
So if you're listening to this and thinking, I don't have time, or I'm not sure where to begin, just remember, you don't need a perfect morning. You just need one gentle step.
Exactly. Whether it's a single phrase, a short voice memo, or even just listening to a podcast like this one, you're already practicing. You're already showing up for yourself.
Thanks for sharing your morning with us today. We hope these ideas help you build a kind and steady routine, one that fits your life, not the other way around.
You've been listening to the British Accent Podcast. Until next time, keep your mornings soft, your practice simple, and your heart open to learning.
And as always, your English doesn't have to be perfect to be powerful. Take care.